Hi everybody, I'm Janelle from That After School Life, and today we're talking about creating a quality after school program through your lesson planning. We all know that after school programs are basically known for homework help, building social skills, maybe developing new interests, all important parts of an after school program, but one key component when talking about success in after school programs is having a high caliber lesson plan. So a high caliber lesson plan in after school would consist of free choice planning in an enriching environment with purposeful planning and themes, as well as a well-rounded curriculum. A few key concepts to quality after school programs. Number one, free choice programming. Now I know it seems a little backwards that we're talking about providing free choice programming when we're talking about structure and planning, but it's actually a really important part to creating quality in your program. Giving kids the options to participate in activities creates an environment of respect. And in my experience, children are more willing to take part and enjoy activities that it's something they choose to do rather than something that they feel they have to do. So be mindful that not everybody wants to do these activities you plan. Even if you spent an entire week planning out this awesome activity, not everybody's going to be into it. And you can't take it personally when they don't want to participate. They just might not want to participate. Everyone has different interests. And just remember that spending time reading a book or playing with Lincoln Logs or playing pretend, any of these other options are great tools for social development. It's important just to remember that kids learn through play. So that would be my key component. Number one is free choice. The second key component in providing a high caliber lesson plan for your after school program is themes. So maybe you already do this. If you do, that's awesome. If you don't, you should start, because we talk about, let's say you want to do a week on games kids can make, or space week, or the five senses. Whatever the theme is, it allows you to create a more well-rounded curriculum and hit on different interests that everyone will be interested in, rather than just doing crafts every week or science or whatever it is that you guys really do well. Keep doing what you do well, but also add in these themes. It'll help you create a more well-rounded curriculum. And on top of that, themes make planning 1,000 times easier. Just go to Pinterest right now and type in space themed activities. Hundreds of options of activities will come up. I'm not saying they're all good options, but they're there. Planning with a theme makes planning so much easier. So number one, free choice. Number two, theme planning. Number three, purposeful planning. So what I mean by purposeful planning is planning with intent. For example, if I'm working with a group of kids I feel like would really benefit from a teamwork activity, I'm going to work in teamwork activities into my next week's lesson plan. Of course, I'm not going to call the week Teamwork Week. I'm going to be a little bit more subtle about it, because if you're a little too on the nose, they're not going to be too into it. But I might put together like some STEM activities that require kids to work together, or group games that are more team-based. Things that will help them develop those skills that we all want them to have, cooperation and teamwork and being a good sport. Those are all important things. Now, I'm not saying every week. Maybe your kid's issue is confidence. Maybe you can do an activity where we work in something where they start to feel good about themselves, a self-expression art project or learning activity, all things that when we put them together have this cause and effect, right? We planned this is our planned outcome. So it might not always work out that way, but having intent in what you're planning is important. Number 4, creating a well-rounded curriculum. So I touched on this a little bit before. When I say a well-rounded curriculum, what I use, and I think a lot of school-age professionals use, is the school-age curricular framework. So this framework has 9 different content areas of different activities that you should be hitting with your kids on a regular basis. So the first one, I'll go through them real quick. So the first one is language, literature, and numbers. So these activities on, they help develop reading and writing skills, critical thinking, self-expression, math, those types of things. Some examples of that would be like trivia games, storytelling, card games, Mad Libs, all things you might already do. Well, you work those in on a regular basis. Then we have art and culture. These are going to be your crafts, but not just crafts. It's more specific to arts and dance and theater. Number 3 would be global learning activities. So these activities encourage kids to investigate the world and translate those ideas into actions to improve global conditions. So this is a little bit of a big idea for some of your younger kids. So you might not do it all the time, but it's also something important that they should be exposed to. Then we have health and wellness activities. So your daily physical fitness, teaching nutrition and healthy lifestyle, promoting healthy foods. Then we have environmental learning, so increasing awareness and knowledge about the environment and how we affect the world. And then we have media and technology, which is exploration and appropriate use of media. Then we have social and emotional development activities, which help develop character and work on interactions, social and emotional development. And then one of my favorites, STEM activities. So these are science, technology, engineering, and math activities. Usually require some team building and critical thinking skills. And then the last one is going to be your service learning and community building activities. So this is actually going out into the community and doing good things. It's helping promote humanitarianism and giving back to your community, helping those in need. It doesn't have to be anything huge. It can be simple things like decorating lunch bags for Meals on Wheels, making tie blankets for the Humane Society. There's all kinds of different things you can do. If you're looking for specific examples, if you're watching this on my website, scroll down. If you are not, check out thatafterschoollife.com. Go to program activities. All of these categories are listed there with all kinds of ideas. So in review, the 4 components to creating a quality after-school lesson plan: free choice programming, theme planning, planning with intent, well-rounded curriculum. Just to clarify on the well-rounded curriculum part, I don't do all of these activities, all of these every week, every month. Some of them I do every week. Like I said, I enjoy STEM. So STEM I work into my program every week. Art and culture I work into my program every week. Language, literature, and numbers I do. But service learning might be a couple times a year. Environmental learning is going to be more in the summer for me than in the spring and fall than in the winter time, because I live in a cold climate and it's not easy to get outside in nature in the winter time. So you don't have to use these all the time. Just be aware that they should be things you're working into your program. So now that we've covered those key components, I want to kind of break down what the structure of a quality after-school lesson plan is. If you'll see here, this is my template for a structure of my actual plan. As you can see, instead of using a time of day, I keep the times open-ended and list the specific activities. So there's 3 listed categories per day, and the categories are academic activities, large group activities, and active games or physical fitness. Academic activities, so this is the time of day where kids get there, they sign in, they also eat snack, and this is homework help. So there's a lot going on at this time. And although the focus of this time is snack and homework, I always put out an academic activity that's self-guided. Oftentimes it's a STEM activity or a critical thinking activity. It might be something like a guessing jar that I put out on Mondays that kids can go over and examine, and something that'll keep them busy and thinking once they're done with their snack or their homework. So the large group activities, so this is the time of day that I offer your traditional after-school programming. Your crafts, your cooking projects, your STEM projects, computer time, social games. These are all things that are happening during our large group activity. And remember, I offer a free choice program. So kids are not required to do the activity. They are free to go to their quiet space or go play dress up or whatever it is that they are interested in doing. Like I said, not everybody wants to do every project. Keep them interested and engaged by letting them do what they want to do. And then the last section there is the active games and physical fitness. So this is the time that we're in the gym or outdoors, and we plan a game every day. And as I mentioned before, we're free choice. Remember, free choice. But this is the one exception. I do require kids to participate in the active group game for at least 5 minutes. And really, I find that when I tell them that, after the 5 minutes is up, they don't even remember that they didn't want to play in the first place. And then after our group game, they have free choice in their active space. So you'll notice that under each of those 3 categories on the plan here, that activity type is listed. So on my plan, you can see at the top that there is a legend. So the 9 categories listed there correspond with those 9 content areas that I utilize in my program from the School Age Curricular Framework. The purpose of listing the activity type is to hold myself accountable, to make sure that I'm planning a well-rounded curriculum for my kids, and it's also so parents can see what we're trying to do. Like, what is the intent behind this plan? So, for example, I might start planning a month out, and I might think, well, at least once this month, I want to do something to promote social emotional development. So when I'm planning it out, I don't even have to fill in what I'm doing that day. At this point during my planning process, I'll just write SEL in the activity type. That way when I'm going through and planning, I know, hey, I haven't done this yet. I plan on doing it this day. You need to get that done still. So I use it to hold myself accountable. And then the final section is outcomes. So the outcome is where I write down what I want to get out of the activity, what I want the kids to get out of the activity. So this goes back to that intent part. What is the intent? So just like I might be going through the month and saying, oh, I need to do the social emotional development activity on this day, I might go through and say, before I even plan it, write down the intent. Say, this is going to be a teamwork activity. We're going to build community. We're going to work together, develop cooperation skills. All of these things, whatever it is that the intent is, you can write that down. Of course, there's going to be times where you write down the activity and then you think, now what would I want to get out of that? But remember that you have to go the other way sometimes to start with the intent and then get the activity. So if you are watching this on YouTube, you can check out my website, thatafterschoollife.com, or check on the link below. If you are watching this on the website, you can scroll on down, and the bottom of this page is a sample lesson plan as well as a PDF and Word doc for blank templates. So I hope this was useful for you. Good luck with your planning.